Thank you everyone for sending in your EHCP questions. In the studio today we have Mary Hunter, Head Teacher, and Diane Curry, Case Officer. They will be answering all of your questions. Let's start with the first question. What is EHCP and what does a good EHCP look like?
A good education, health and care plan is a document which has all the needs and strengths of a young person in one document. A good plan would be concise, have strengths, difficulties clearly defined, and would have outcomes that match the young person's aspirations and the provision to help them meet that, and any health or social care needs within the document, all in one place, all clearly written, so everybody knows what they need to do to support the young person to develop and work towards their adult independence.
What is the process of EHCP?
The school will call an annual review, and it should be within 12 months of the last annual review or within 12 months of an initial plan being written. Once the review has gone ahead, the school will send paperwork to the case officer within a couple of weeks, and the case officer will then decide whether the plan needs amending, maintaining or ceasing, and let the parents know the outcome. They will then do any amendments if that's the way forward and send the copy to the school, any of the people who have contributed to the plan and to the parents and young person. After 15 days, and if nobody wants any changes to the amendments, the case officer will finalise the plan, making it a legal document once more.
So the school calls the review, so you'll get, parents will get a letter from school with all the information they need to prepare for the review. So we will ask for parents' view, and you'll be sent the paperwork that will be used in the meeting so you can fill in and think about the questions. And we'll also send you the paperwork we'll be using with your child to prepare them for the meeting as well. So when you come to the meeting, everybody will have the same information and be able to have a proper discussion, so it makes a really well-informed process. As parents, you will be asked for your child's view as well as your family's view and anybody else who's important to the young person to express their views. What we do in school is support the child and the student to express what matters to them and work towards them understanding that this is about preparing them for when they're grown up, when they're adults. So they need to be looking towards what it is they want to do, where they want to live, who they want to be when they're grown up. And we will also, where possible, invite the young person into the review, usually at the beginning of the meeting, so they can share their document with the people who are there, because it's important they understand it's their plan and it's about them.
What should I do to prepare for EHCP review?
What you can do to prepare is think about what needs to change within the plan, whether the plan still reflects your child, your son or your daughter. Maybe prepare some questions. Depends on where in the school year the young person is. If they are looking to move forward, it's starting to think about the next steps in the child's life in the process.
If you want some help to prepare for the review, because coming into a meeting with a lot of other people can be quite intimidating and it's like being in the head teacher's office at school, then we have family support at school, and or your class team can help you if you want to talk about. Our family support can come out and visit you at home if that's easier to go through the paperwork and make sense of it. We also have our nursing team at school who can help you prepare. And if you want links with any other professionals who you think may be needed, their information may be needed, like speech and language or occupational therapy or physiotherapy, we can help and support and make sure that you have all the information you need so that we can get a really good plan.
What is different about a Year 9 review?
Year 9 is when we really start to think about adulthood, really home in on the next steps. It's the time in the child's life where they often get support by connections, careers officers, and we like to try and explore what is life can be after school. So that might be thinking about colleges, thinking about alternative provisions, thinking about social care. It's about really trying to explore with the young person and with the family what the next step should look like. We do it nice and early, so there's lots of time to prepare and think about, and even change your minds, because we often change minds, and it just gives you the chance to be able to consider all the options and get the right professionals outside of school to support you. So that might be social workers, connections workers, it might be starting to look at other providers outside of school.
What should I think about for year 14 review?
Year 14 is quite a crucial review because it's the last year of school. So we try and do the reviews really early in the autumn term. We may have even discussed moving forward in the review the year before. It's really important that by this time you are linked up with whoever needs to support you, so you know your careers advisor, the young person has met the careers advisor and is starting to build that relationship. If there is need for social care, the social worker is identified and they're starting to build a relationship with you and with your family.
And in terms of health, there's a transition between children's health services, paediatricians, into adult services. So our school nursing team will make sure all the paperwork and all the referrals have been put through so that you are supported in transitioning from children's health services into adults health services. So all that information is there as well to go into the review, because it's quite a lot of transitions around the ages of 17 and 18, which should all be in place before your young person leaves school at 19.
What happened when I ask changes EHCP?
If your child's needs have changed and you think the plan needs to change, you could ask for an early annual review. The annual review should be yearly, but if there are significant changes, maybe after an operation or after an injury, we can do an early annual review. That is the point when we can change the document. And when the EHCP comes out in draft, you can look through the changes, and then while it's in draft, we can tweak the document to make it reflect your young person before finalising it.
The annual review does not mean that the EHCP will be updated every year though, because at minimum it should be updated at the end of key stage, because the outcomes are written to be achieved over 2 or 3 or 4 years. It is a longer term outcome. But we also have all the appendices, so all the reports that have been written in the last 12 months between reviews and the annual review documents all go with the plan, and they are used to inform provision. So it becomes a working document until the point at which it is reviewed.
What do I do if I want my child to go to a different school?
If you want your child to go to a different school, it needs to be done via the review process. So an annual review would be held. Any concerns would be raised at that review. When you have a draft plan out to you, that is the point when you are able to request a change of provision. So you can ask us to consult, and as a local authority, we would send a letter and the draft plan to schools of your choice, asking if they can meet need.
And from a school's perspective, we will be asked as part of the annual review whether we can meet need or whether we no longer can meet need. The school may say that we can meet need, but we still may not be where you want your child to come, and you can still express a preference for another placement. But both views will be in the document, that school believe they can meet need and parents wish for a change of placement.
What happens if school says they can no longer meet need?
An educational setting can't just say they can no longer meet need. It has to be evidence-based, and it has to be supported by other professionals and reports. So in the process of an annual review, if there is evidence that the child is no longer making progress towards outcomes, that the school has made every reasonable adjustment that they can, specified in the educational provision, and that all of the specialists and external agencies have been involved and in support of this, the school may say that actually we cannot make any more reasonable adjustments, we can no longer do anything to meet need, and then it would be part of the annual review consultation and it would go to the case officer.
When does the EHCP finish?
The plan can cease at several points in a child's life. The Education, Health and Care Plan could technically support your child until they are 25 years of age. However, the child needs to be in education. The child also needs to be making progress and developing and moving towards independence. If a young person has developed so well and they no longer need the plan, the additional support, we could cease the plan at any age. It doesn't need to be in secondary or even in junior school. It can be at any time if they no longer need the support. If a young person is in college and they can't progress because they can't go to the next level, we will consider ceasing the plan at that point too. If a young person goes on to higher education, anything above a level 3 or even uni, we will cease the plan. It doesn't mean the young person won't get support continuing, but it will not come through the Education, Health and Care Plan.
Thank you for watching. We hope you found it useful. Goodbye.